You know what's cool? You know what's really cool? We've had 2 people die of the measles recently. The fucking measles. Why? Why? Well, I don't know, man. It's probably because there's a bunch of idiots running around thinking that vaccinations are unbased and woke. But don't take my word for it. Let's go ahead and read about it together, shall we? 2 unvaccinated people have died of measles in Pennsylvania's Lancaster County. The state's health department confirmed this on Tuesday. Pennsylvania Secretary of Health, Dr. Deborah Bogan, declined to give any additional information about the deaths during the media briefing, citing patient confidentiality. They are the first measles-related deaths in the United States this year, and the first in Pennsylvania in 35 years. Lancaster County has seen the majority of measles cases in the state's growing outbreak. As of Tuesday, 393 cases have been confirmed in the state. 86 of them were diagnosed in the past week. So far, 70 people have been hospitalized in Pennsylvania for measles complications. But don't worry, RFK thinks that the measles vaccine is bad. For reasons, I guess. Remember when fucking Trump was going on saying we need to split up the MMR vaccine into multiple things, and then also simultaneously said that we need to lower the amount of shots our kids get? How do you? How? These tragic deaths remind us that measles is not a harmless illness. Well, yeah, duh. That's why we had vaccines for it. It's appropriate that we're having this press conference at our Women and Babies Hospital. Pregnant women and children are vulnerable to measles if they are not vaccinated. Officials declined to answer a question about whether the deaths involved either pregnant women or a baby. Earlier this month, President Donald Trump signed an executive order meant to drive down the number of vaccines recommended for children. The move, which was of course backed by RFK Jr., drew sharp criticism from pediatricians and public health experts. Kennedy has a history of anti-vaccine rhetoric and, according to local reporting in 2021, was a keynote speaker at an event in Lancaster County, which he said, without citing scientific evidence, the vaccines are harmful. His source literally was, trust me, bro. That's all. During Tuesday's media briefing, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro said Kennedy had called him to offer resources to assist the outbreak response. Shapiro was very, very blunt with him. I made it very clear that his actions and rhetoric that's coming from his administration are having a negative impact on the communities across America, particularly here in Pennsylvania. There's real-life consequences to scaring people and not relying on actual doctors and actual medical professionals to provide unbiased information to patients. RFK Jr. calls up, I will offer you any assistance you need. Sir, if you shut your mouth literally till the end of time, you would be operating at a much higher helpful capacity than you are right now. You would be doing the world a gigantic favor if you simply shut your goddamn beef tallow gargling mouth. Racerman says the whole vaccine scare started because some grifters wanted to make a boatload of money off separate measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines in the UK. Jesus. Kennedy has a history of anti-vaccine rhetoric, you don't say? Yep. Like, if you want help from RFK Jr., the help to request is him shutting the fuck up. An HHS spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the measles deaths. The grim news comes at a time when more parents than ever are actively avoiding vaccines for their children because of people like RFK Jr. and Donald Trump. Oh boy. During the 2025 and 26 school year, 4.2% of kindergartners had at least one vaccine exemption, which is up 3.6% from the previous school year. The number of kids getting the MMR vaccine in Lancaster County has been falling steadily, from 95.5% to 87.6% in a matter of the last decade. Why do you want kids to die? That's RFK. Why do you want kids to die? Can we just go on record and say that RFK Jr. wants kids to die? Because if it were not for him wanting kids to die, why else would he advocate for policy choices that not inadvertently, but specifically result in the deaths of children? According to the CDC, 2,777 measles cases have been reported nationwide this year, the highest number in 35 years. Gee, wonder why. As of August 20, 193 people with measles, about 7% of cases, have been hospitalized this year. And of course, the majority of them are unvaccinated. Remember, It said H-Bomber Guy made a good video covering the actions of Andrew Wakefield and Hugh Fettenberg and Brian Deere's reporting on their unrelented quackery and the very real harm it causes to kids. Yep. Now, H-Bomber Guy's anti-vaccine coverage video is incredibly good and goes over this in far better detail than I ever could. And again, I don't make 2 to 3 hour long videos with a year's worth of research behind them. I tried. I'm bad at it. Not my skill set. More than 900 measles cases have been counted in the U.S. since May, with Pennsylvania accounting for more than a third of those new cases. 3 people died of measles last year, an adult in New Mexico and 2 young girls in Texas. The measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, given in 2 doses around age 1 and 5, offers a 97% protection against measles, usually for life. When enough eligible individuals receive the vaccine, the entire community develops a level of immunity that protects our most vulnerable, including babies who are too young to be vaccinated. I encourage all parents, says Dr. Andrew Racine, and caregivers to talk to your pediatrician and ask if your child is up to date on their MMR vaccine. So, can we talk real quick? Because we covered a lot of this during the COVID times. Can we talk real quick about what happens when you say, I don't want to get this vaccine? You might have a friend who's immunocompromised, and you wouldn't know they're immunocompromised, but they're not able to get the vaccine because the weakened version of the virus that the vaccine would put in them, or the spike protein of the virus that the vaccine would put into them if they are getting an MMR vaccine or mRNA vaccine, they are not able to take those vaccines. And so what they rely on is the people around them not being fucking infected. So, when they rely on the people around them not being fucking infected, they need you, who likely can get the vaccine, to take said vaccine. If you can't take said vaccine, then you rely on other people around you having taken the vaccine. If somebody with a good immune system does the whole, I got an immune system, that's why I don't need them shots. An immune system does not suddenly mean that you do not spread the disease to other people. People who have weaker immune systems. Well, if they don't have good immune systems, maybe they should get the fucking shot. Well, too bad. The people with the bad immune systems are the exact people who can't get the shot for a variety of reasons. So, not taking those vaccines, or saying your children shouldn't have them, is A, an argument that your children should fucking die, and B, an argument that your children's friends should also, in due course, like a stack of dominoes falling, should fucking die. Maybe don't be the person who argues that not only your child should fucking die, but your child's friends should be subject to your own stupid fucking choices. Anyway, Jessica says, it just makes me feel horrible that people want me dead because I'm autistic. I hate it. Like, I felt like it would be better if I didn't exist sometimes because of this shit. It's eugenics at the end of the day. Like, it is. It's just what it is. Nelson says, because usually a thing that is mild childhood disease, measles to be clear, is extremely bad. It becomes a horrific ordeal later, like shingles. Yep. Will says, always talk with your doctors before listening to the administration. They know you better than whoever's on Capitol Hill. Correct. Chaotic says, I just wish people weren't ableist pieces of shit. Yeah. I wish they weren't too. To be fair, sometimes a lot of this comes down to the fact that people simply don't understand the implications of what they are saying. However, there's an equal measure of people who do understand the implications of what they're saying, like RFK, like Donald Trump, and now here we are. And they're just doing shit. Japazio says, I thought Tylenol caused autism, now it's this new thing. No, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine has actively been one of the things that was pointed to as a potential cause of autism by conspiracy hacks for years. Tylenol being a potential cause of autism has been pointed to more recently, but the MMR vaccine is like one of the OG causes autism conspiracy theories. Azaz says, yeah, like the oldest one I think is the MMR thing. I don't know what else there's. The vaccine caused autism nonsense has been floating around since the 90s because of Andrew Wakefield's academic fraud. Yep. Kiatic says, I just want to live. I lost my last job because I'm mentally ill and autistic, but I got a new one luckily. Well, that's good. That's good, Chaotic. Frosty Judy says, autism is worse than dying, according to many, many right-wingers. Yep. Zora says, a lot of people saying / doing ableist shit without understanding also will actively resist learning in many cases. Yep. This is also true. But also, measles fries the immune system, so if you get it, enjoy catching diseases you had before. Yeah, immune system reset is one of those things that people should be actively more scared of. Pernia says they're going after ADHD now. I may not be diagnosed, but I'm pretty certain that I don't like that. Kiata says my parents are ableist and they have 2 disabled kids. I'm so confused. A lot of times it's people not understanding. It's people not knowing that they are, or knowing that what they're saying. Like, okay, so like, let's take transphobia for a second. It is technically transphobic to tell somebody when they tell you that they want to transition from, say, woman to man. It is transphobic to tell them, oh, but you're so pretty. Why would you want to do that? Like, that is a transphobic statement. But to the person, it's not. So oftentimes we have to kind of hold their hand and explain to them in no uncertain terms why what they're doing is harmful. It sucks, and it's agitating, and it's not fair that that job is often put on the person who is being attacked, but it is also the situation we're in. That said, that's all I got for this one. And I wish I had better news there, but RFK Jr., of course, is fucking us over as usual. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.